Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we will learn about Git commands but through AI agents. We will tell an agent what needs to be done and then we will see what commands it executes. We will see what that commands means, and in this video specifically we will focus on how to create commits, how to change branches, how to stash the changes. We will also see what kinds of files there are, staged, unstaged, and tracked. And basically the aim of this video is that by the end of this video you will have a basic understanding on how to use git commands for your day-to-day activities. Let's get started. Before we get started with creating commits, there is a simple concept that we need to understand. How does git keep tracks of the file? To learn this, we have to understand that git puts any file into three buckets. The file is either untracked, or it is staged or unstaged. Untracked files are the files that Git does not know anything about. So on your GitHub or on your Git repository, that file does not exist. So Git does not know that it has to track that file. So whatever change you make to that file, Git will not understand. So how does this work? Let's create a simple file. Text.txt. We will add some value, some random value, and execute which command? Git status. So now you know that this is untracked. So whatever you change to this file, you add new values, you delete some values, Git will not know who made those changes, at what time. Basically for Git, this file does not even exist. The other is unstaged files. Unstaged files are the files that Git knows about. So all this file, right, this readme, this file, Git knows everything about this because these files are already on your Git repository. So Git knows that it has changed something. So if I add one more line, $header, and if I do git status, see, it says that change is not staged for commit. This means that Git knows that it has to track this file, and it knows that this text or txt does not have to track this file. That's why it is in untracked files. This is in unstaged files. What is remaining? Staged files. Staged files are the files that are ready for the next commit or for the next push. So whenever you say that, okay, I want this file in the commit, I want this file in the commit. So whatever files that are included in the commit are called as staged files. So files move from unstaged or untracked stage to the staged environment, and from there on we push those changes to the repository. Now that we know what is the difference between unstaged, staged, and untracked, we will make a commit. We will do our first commit. Let's see how to do that. First we will tell what needs to be done. There has to be a change, because if there is no change, what will the system commit, right? So we will say remove all the comments from this file and push it to master. Use appropriate commit message, and let's see what commands this executes. Okay, so did you just see what happened? We executed three commands, three basic commands. First, we added git add, right? Whenever we want to move anything from unstaged or untracked environment to stage environment, we execute git add command. So instead of writing this file name, we can just type dot, and that will include all the files, right? We don't have to manually type each and every file name, but in our case we had changes in three files, but we only wanted to commit one file. So that's why we added git add and the file name. After the files are in staged environment, we have to create a commit message. So we do that via git commit -m, and then we will add an appropriate message. After the message has been added, we can just execute the git push origin master command. And as you can see, the changes are merged. Let's see the history. So show me the history of this repo. You know what command it is going to execute because we saw it in the last video. Continue, and you can see that it has executed. It has created this commit. Now let us see how we can change our branch. Now before we change a branch, you need to understand what is a branch. By default we work on master branch, but everyone cannot push on the master branch, because think of it like this: you have 10 people in your organization, and if 10 of the people work on the same master branch, it could happen that the change is made by the person 1 and the change is made by the person 2. They could be conflicting, and they both push at the same time. The master branch could be in an unstable state, or even more, the changes that you want to make, you don't want to deploy those changes, because usually in production environment we deploy everything from the master branch, or you want to just create a temporary changes just for yourself, or you want to create a feature uh, for yourself. So usually what happens, what is the standard practice, is that from the master branch we create a new branch, a feature branch, or a bug branch. If there is a bug fix that you want to do, you create a new bug branch. If there's a new feature that you're working on, you create a new feature branch, and then you work on those branches. You work on your changes, specific changes that you are required, and then once your changes are done, you create a merge request with the master branch. Now what is a merge request, how can we merge the changes, we will see it later. But in this video we will see how to create a new branch, how to move between the branches, and how to stash our changes. So let's create a new branch. Let's see what commands it executes. So it's saying that git checkout -b is name, and as you can see, it has executed that command perfectly. And currently we are on this branch itself. We can see it here, right? Okay. Can I lower the fonts? I don't think it could be visible for you guys. Okay. Anyway, so we are on this branch. All right. What can we do here? We have these things. Okay. Let's add something. Update readme.md file with the file structure, and push the and push it with appropriate commit message. So you can exactly know what commands that are going to be executed. First we will add a git add command that will add this file. Then we will add a git commit message, git commit -m, that will include the commit message, and then we will push it to the server. That will be git push. So let's execute and see and wait. Okay, what are commits? Okay, so as you can see, it has added some changes over here. We will keep it, and then we will execute the continue. As you can see, git add is added. So it has executed git add command. Now it will work on the git commit message. Okay. Now it will push these changes. So git push command. And now on this branch feature add Docker, we have pushed our changes. It is that easy, right? Let's see the history of this repo of this branch as well. Show me the history of this. Oh, we have our changes. Let me show you one more feature that is called as git stash. What the git stash does is that it saves, or it puts your local changes or the changes that you have not yet committed into something called a stash stack. You can think of it like this, and then you can easily switch branches, and then you can unstash those changes. So if I have to give you a better example, let's say you have made some changes over here. We are just making a temporary changes, but I'm going to show you an example, right? And currently we are on feature add branch, right? Now let's say if we want to switch back to the master branch, right? So what can we do? What can we do that? And in that example, so we can just type commit like git checkout master, and we will be able to switch back to the master branch. But we just want to, just keep these changes away, because we don't want these changes to be on the master branch at all. So what do? We can just stash these changes. So we can say git stash. Okay, let's AI agent do this for us, right? Stash the current changes and move to master branch. Let's see what command it executes. Okay, first we have to execute git stash. So we have executed the stash command. Now we will switch back to the master branch. I don't know why it is trying to execute git status, but let's execute it anyway. Okay, so when we execute git stash, it only includes the unstaged files. So but if we want to include the test file as well, because this is an untracked file, so git does not know anything about this. If we want to do that as well, we can do git stash include untracked. This is something I learned just now. So let's continue, and we are on our master branch. So what if we want our changes back? The changes that we have just made, what if we want them back? We can just say unstash the the last stash, yeah. Or the better command is git stash pop, but I'm not able to think of a proper prompt to execute that at this moment. So let's click on this, and as we can see, it has popped it, but it has only popped test.txt. What about the other changes? We can say unstash all. So now it will unstash all the things that it has in its stash memory or stash stack, right? So first we will see how many stashes do we have. So we only have one stash at the rate 0. So if we had 1, so it will be stash at the rate 1, then stash at the rate 2, and if we want one stash specific, we can write git stash space then this value. But let's do this. Execute the command git stash pop, and we have our changes back. So what do we learn from this video? In this video we saw what are tracked and untracked files. Basically it is called as staged, unstaged and untracked. Then we saw how to create commits, how to push those changes, how to add a git commit message, how to move files from unstaged or untracked environment to the staged environment. Then we saw how to switch branches, how to stage, or what do I say, how to stash our local changes and move to other branches. We also saw how to switch branches as well. Now, from the previous video and in this and on this video, you have a basic understanding on how to use Git for everyday life. The only thing that is left is Git merge, how to merge changes between two branches, and we will see that in the next video. But if you have followed up till now, you have basic understanding on how to use Git, because basically this is how everybody use Git. I mean, on my day-to-day life, I execute these commands only. There's one more command, that is git merge, that I didn't show you yet, but basically my everyday Git workflow is similar to this: creating a new branch, stashing some stash the changes, add some commits, cherry picking. We will see cherry picking, what is Git cherry pick, as well in the next video. But if you have loved this video, if you like this video, if you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Thank you and have a nice day.